Hello everyone, we are Stalwart and today we've been interviewed by Schaden Collective. Okay, we have a band called Stalwart, originated in Russia back in 1999, quite, quite a long time ago as you can imagine. And about myself personally, I am Leonid. I play guitar and keyboards in a band. Nowadays, we live in quite different places on this planet Earth, and I'm coming from Canada, Vancouver, and unfortunately, I am here by myself today, unless maybe some invisible man around, not sure. So, let's begin. There were many things throughout those years, so it's a little hard to pick up one. But I would say it is probably release of our second album, Death to North, back in 2003. And we felt things were happening, and it was first time we were released on CD, and we started touring, and we started getting fans, and people were saying, okay guys, we didn't expect much of Russian metal scene, but you are making something impressive, and we felt like we are about to find our own sound. Yeah, we have sort of similar taste in music, but still I will talk for myself. I can talk about my musical influences forever. If I start from very beginning, so the first big one from my childhood and up until now, it was Queen, Freddie Mercury, Brian May. Those guys were fantastic. I was blown away. They can play any genre of music, disco, foxtrot, or heavy metal, and they always sounded like themselves. Almost no other band can do like that, and this heavily influenced how I feel music in general and how I try to compose music myself. And if we move to a time when Stalwart started late 90s, thrash metal bands were a big influence for me, particularly Slayer. I was a huge fan for decades, and I still think it's one of the biggest metal bands who originated the whole extreme music scene. Also, that time I listened to more contemporary metal bands like Fear Factory or Miss Sugar. Fear Factory are solid and the manufacturer, they were huge that time, and we wanted to have that sort of production on our earlier records, but we just couldn't. And Sugar, I really think those guys are genius, and they invented something which never been before, not only in metal but in the whole music. At the same time, I didn't want to sound like Sugar, because if you do it, you're always secondary. That is my problem is today's gen scene. Those bands are doing good, but for me they're kind of secondary compared to Sugar, because whatever they have in their music, it was invented by Sugar. Black metal, some black metal bands for sure, like Immortal and especially Dimmu Borgir. So initially I didn't like black metal at all. I was thinking it's all just about shitty production and this infamous story how one guy killed another guy just because they basically argue who was more black metal. But later on, our original guitarist introduced me Dimo Borger Spiritual Black Dimensions, which was just released. And I was blown away. The music was so intricate, and I was really impressed by those keyboards. Because common opinion at that time was that keyboard didn't really go well with extreme subgenre of metal. So it's more like for gothic, synth, for power or hard rock. But in this music, keyboard sounded so organic and it added up that much. And we were thinking, why don't we use keyboard in our music? Yeah, it's quite different, so we started as thrash, groove, metal band. But yeah, we added some keyboard moments. It's how Stalwart sound was born. Later on, death metal scene, Polish death metal scene, Decapitated, Vader, those bands were big influences. At the time we recorded Annihilation Begins in 2008. Yeah, this time again I will go far back because when something happens for the first time, it's a big impression always. And it was our first show with international bands. That time we supported Finnish bands Norther and Fintroll, and it was back in 2001, I guess, or something like that. And it was really huge impression for us. Crowd was insane and reception was incredibly good. And we played with a real band, how we called it that time, for the first time. Yeah, that was crazy. Oh, good question actually. Yeah, it's a little long story. So several years ago, we situated in different countries and different continents, and we were not sure if band continue or what do we do. Uh, but we had unfinished album which we already started by that time, and we were thinking, okay, we need to have it done. And we started working remotely on finishing the record and mixing and mastering and then releasing singles and then label deal and releasing the whole album. And during the time we learned to work remotely, and we started thinking, why don't we go this way? Because bands do it in this way nowadays, right? For now, we are focused on releasing our recent records, Tempus Edex Rerum. The digital release took place on January 23rd, a couple of weeks ago, and physical release is ahead, and some promo campaign is in progress. And once this is done, we will sit and talk and figure out what we do next. So we don't know yet. Oh yeah, of course, we are going to record a platinum album, and have a couple of arena tools. Yeah, of course, reality can be a little bit different, but we will see. Anyway, we are going to continue to play metal, and it's not that small by itself. A big question, pineapple or pizza? Yes or no? Pineapple or pizza? Interesting. The answer is steak. Does it mean no? We all live in a simple world on the easiest time. May the metal be with you and give you strength to move forward. Don't take it too seriously. And check out our new record, Tempos Alex Rerum. Okay, yeah, we have several resources. The main source of information is probably Facebook. Yeah, not everyone likes Facebook nowadays, but it is what it is. It's facebook.com/Stalwart Metal. Yeah, also we have an Instagram, and we just launched a couple of web stores on Bandzoogle and Shopify, and some merchandise also available through Spotify page, and we are everywhere on streaming platform, YouTube Music, Apple Music, Spotify, wherever you can imagine, Deezer, Pandora, and so on. So you can find us everywhere. Thank you for watching. We are Stalwart. Support Underground and stay tuned to Schaden Collective.